All right, everybody, welcome to Git Bit Podcast, a podcast for blurs, nerds, and everybody with the fandom. And pretty much, if you're like me, and of course my co-host right next to me, you are here to, get some stuff off your chest, mostly. I'm your host and most Will Buchanan. Of course, I'll let the man introduce himself to my right, your left, to see what he comes up with this. So what you got?
I am the terror that flaps at night. I am the duck in the incompatible human man costume. I am Joe Tonello.
You know what? I'm glad. I so thought you were gonna go with Peacemaker reference, and I'm glad
that Peacemaker reference.
It was there. I thought you were gonna take it, but I was like, I'm gonna live with that. But with that being said, guys, before we do get started, we do have to say we are a family-friendly podcast. At least we try to be. So we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. And of course, we do show trailers with full sounds. However, some trailers may be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. We're just going to go ahead and go into it. Not a lot that we have this week, but I am excited for two reasons. Number one, we are not too far off, hopefully from Batman, if it doesn't get pushed back. And number two, one of my favorite games next month, which is I think about 3 or 4 weeks away, give or take, will be coming out for the PS4 and PS5. Which I'm happy about because I don't have a PS5 yet, and it was one of my favorite games on PS4. And then the sequel is coming out that I'm talking about that I'll be showing the trailer for, called Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm running out of time, Elizabeth. The land is dying. People are suffering. Soon. They'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control. I have to find a way to fix it all. And the answer is somewhere out in the Forbidden West.
In the West, war is the rule. Peace, the exception. The rebel leader, Regala, seeks to slaughter all those who've wronged her. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. They say she answers to a higher power. He supplied her with troops, weapons, even the ability to control machines of war.
Whatever secrets he has, he's keeping to himself. And the solution I need is broken and scattered. Everywhere I look, things are falling apart. I don't know if I can find a way forward. Like Elizabeth did.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
Oh, be careful and...
We're coming with you.
We will find the answers. But beware. We're not the only ones who seek them.
Okay, so as you guys can see, like I said, one of my favorite games will be coming out February 18th. Like I said, not too far off from now. This is the sequel to Horizon Forbidden Dawn. We'll try it again. Horizon Forbidden Dawn, again, to me, one of the greatest games that came out for the PS4. And now, again, the sequel coming out on PS4 and PS5, which follows Aloy's journey. I'm having a terrible time with words right now. Which follows Aloy's journey into the West with new machines, new enemies, and new allies. I kept saying the whole entire time when I was watching this trailer, please do not let the black side dude, the sidekick. I am doing so wonderful right now. I'm not letting the sidekick die because I kept on thinking to myself the entire time, please, man, don't let the person die. But anyway, that's one of my favorite games I'm looking forward to. And hopefully, like I said, I'm already pre-ordered it, so I can't wait to download it and play it. But I know one thing, also speaking of news that came out, I know Joe has seen it. I know I've seen it. I know pretty much anybody that's a Marvel fan that is starving for more content has seen it, the MoonKnight trailer. Before we play it, Joe, did you want to give your thoughts on the MoonKnight trailer that we saw for Disney Plus?
So I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I didn't know you. Usually I can't tell half time when you played it or not played it, so I apologize. I should have asked. I'm sorry.
No, that was one of my favorite games, even though I got way overpowered way too quickly in that game. I think I was level 20 by the time I got out of the starting area just because I was hunting everything.
You grinded. Hey, that's the best
No,
way to do
I was not grinding for the sake of grinding. I was just wandering around and doing stuff.
Nothing wrong with that, because there were a lot of animals to really there were a lot of machines really to take down. I was trying to take down the biggest one, so I can't say.
I guarantee you we are going to get a chase sequence in the streets of San Francisco because the large majority of this does happen in San Francisco. As we've already seen. I know the Golden Gate Bridge is either going to be endgame or something pinnacle to the story, something massively important. But I know that giant curvy road that we have to race in all games that are in San Francisco, that's going to be a chase sequence there. It's got to be.
Yeah, plus
that is going to have like a giant robot animal just bust through that part.
I can see that. And also at the same time, the whole encourage of Silas still being alive, which he was supposed to be killed. And at the same time that the mother's AI, I guess, is still around, which I found interesting.
No, Silas lived at the end of the game.
I thought he got killed. I thought he was presumed dead in the Frozen Wilds.
No, he was, I never got through Frozen Wilds. I'm talking about the actual end of the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. You know I don't care about spoilers.
Well, still. But anyway, I'm sorry.
It's not the end that messes with me. It's the journey. The journey is what's always worth it.
Yeah, true. But then again, it's supposed to be 3 parts. So they said that Guerrilla Games said it was supposed to be a 3 parts. So this is actually going to be the second.
For no reason, they'll go to Japan because all giant mechanical monsters must go to Japan.
Would I be mad about a kaiju? Would I be mad about a robotic kaiju?
We're already in Colorado, so that means we have to. If we're going in Colorado and leaving towards San Francisco, we have to hit Vegas at some point in this game.
Yeah, eventually, I would have to think so.
Unless she goes down to Arizona and New Mexico and then bounces upward.
I would have to say Vegas would have to be in this game, considering the fact that they didn't really they didn't show a lot, which again I'm grateful for. I mean, you shouldn't have to show off everything for us to get to buy the game. I mean, the first game itself was great. So
I just want Vegas just be flat desert. You just never know what was there except for the eyepiece.
What if Vegas was full of snakes and viper-like robots?
I'm down.
I wouldn't be mad about it, but again, that's one of the things I'm saying. So anyway, again, after me apologizing to Joe for forgetting the fact that I'm not the only one that's played Horizon Zero Dawn. You would wear a Samoa Joe shirt on the eve of WWE, but again, that's one of my favorite wrestlers. Again, it's one of my favorite wrestlers anyway, so I can't be mad about that. But anyway, MoonKnight. Let's go ahead and play the trailer first, and then we'll give our opinions on it.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
losing it.
We'll catch you, eh? You're bloody useless. Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between eye and dreams.
Thank you.
That's the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. The voice in your head. There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sold. I can't tell you how many times I've watched that trailer. But Joe, I'm gonna let you go first. What did you think of the trailer? Just in as far as does it get you hype about the series? Does it make you think that, like I said in my IG post, you know, is Disney ready to give some darker storytelling?
Yeah, this is a real question of just how violent is Disney really willing to go? Are we going to go the full Daredevil? Are we going to go just a little bit below it and then pull back?
Right.
A lot of it in this trailer shows, I believe, our main character is most definitely Mark Spector.
Yeah.
But there are three personalities Mark has. We have Mark Spector, the mercenary. We have Steve Grant, who is, I believe, we're opening with, who's got the British accent, which is weird because the British accent is actually Jake Lockley.
Yeah.
But, you know, they could be switching him. I'm more than okay with that. Oscar Isaac does a great job. He's having a great time as Marvel right now. So,
oh yeah.
We do see that he's trying to keep awake. We do see his mind is already slowly fracturing. We see that he goes to bed and then wakes up and is chained. So we chained to the bed. We don't know if one of the other personalities is doing that or if he's doing that to himself.
Right.
We get a great shot of the bird skeleton version of Khonshu. I'm a little torn about the actual costume because I'm more than okay that they are leading heavily into the Egyptian theme.
Yeah.
It's a little weird that it's a mummy costume, but I'm down with it because we're still in that scenario of he's a dude, he's going to put on his costume in like a back alley.
Yeah.
And I hope we do because it's my favorite incarnation of MoonKnight, but I don't know if we're going to get a Mr. Nightford in here, which is the fifth version of MoonKnight's personalities. But
maybe
I'll
say probably maybe down the road. Maybe down the road we'll see it.
We do get a Sailor Moon style transformation, which that's already made the rounds on the internet. Yeah. I'm okay with that too.
The internet is undefeated.
Technically in the name of the moon, he is punishing you.
Yes, by beating you to a bloody pulp, but yes.
I mean, he's more useful than Tuxedo Mask and Moonlight Knight. So
that comment was the comment of loan of Joe Tonello, Sailor Moon fans. Not me. I am not.
Even in Sailor Moon, they point out, well, you did nothing. Farewell. It's like my job here is done, but you didn't do anything. Farewell.
He's the Mr.
We also get to see deals with a lot of the supernatural. If you look really close, it looks like he's fighting a werewolf. I don't know if that is man-wolf. Actually, I really don't know. Keep forgetting, we do officially have a J. Jonah Jameson, so it's feasible that is a John Jameson man-wolf. We could also be very well be dealing with werewolf by night. So
that's what makes me think it is. It's werewolf by night.
You know, in the Jed McKay thing, there was this one panel where he's fighting werewolves and fighting one panel with zombies and chainsaw. So it could just be a generic werewolf. We don't know.
Even more so, I mean, I'm with you on that. I still think that it's great. The suit, I kind of dig the transformation, honestly. Just the whole split of it all, and the fact that, like you said, you see the Egyptian guy Koshu there. You see him kind of switch. You see him. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, you just see him switch between personalities, and that to me is going to be the essential storytelling right there.
The other thing that is probably one of the biggest precedents for this character is that he is one of the only characters to have the whited out eyes.
True. That's very true.
All of Batman, none of the Batmans have whited out eyes except for 5 seconds in Dark Knight.
When he used the sonar.
No, where he uses the
in the Dark Knight when he was trying to get the dog. When he was doing the Joker, he was looking through the buildings.
Yes.
Okay.
When he had the whited out eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what that means is that Oscar Isaac doesn't have to be in that costume the whole time.
Right.
It could be Oscar Isaac goes in for his days of shooting, and then they get the stuntman in the costume, and we could have a lot of scenes with him beating the crap out of people in the Moon Knight costume, because we don't have to see Oscar Isaac's eyes.
True, but it's gonna. I'm just looking forward to March 30th. That is going to be an interesting. That is going to be an interesting series, which tells me that okay, if it's in March, are we going to have a split between? Let's see, Boba Fett. I said the book of Boba Fett's going to be wrapping up. I think they gave it 8 episodes, so I think.
I mean, there may be a Disney show or something in between, because remember we had Monsters Incorporated.
That's true.
Is it the Proud Family?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna roll their Disney shows in between for the month of February and then go into March. If memory serves right,
I would think with February being Black History Month, it should be Proud Family.
Yeah,
but don't quote me on that. I am purely out there. I mean, I'll be honest. As much as I love the Jed McKay Moon Knight series, this is not my most anticipated show for Marvel this year. That would be She-Hulk.
Which I think do they still push that back to March, or are we still looking at the end of March?
What?
For She-Hulk.
No, that's probably gotten pushed back.
Damn.
Let me look.
I was gonna say I'm almost certain that She-Hulk get pushed back, because if it did, then there goes March. Which again, I know Disney was pushing a lot of things out of the way for March, because Batman is still going to be coming out March 4th. So that's what makes me think that, okay, I think they might have pushed it back. We do know it's going to be sometime in 2022, but we don't know what. But I have to look that. I mean, you're looking at that.
Yeah,
right now.
it's sometime 2022. I would think it's probably down the way a little, probably past Doctor Strange in the summer.
Okay, so it's definitely got to push back. But that's fine. That's one of the things we can look forward to in the Marvel side. But moving right along, I did actually want to cover some other news that did come out this week. Depending on how you feel about it, if you're a Call of Duty fan, you might be a little bit ticked off. But if you're a Xbox person that's always wanted to stick it to your PlayStation friends, you might think this funny. I am basically talking about the acquisition that did actually happen of Microsoft literally buying Activision Blizzard for almost nearly $69 billion. Now, I know for a lot of you guys have heard about the many problems that Activision Blizzard has had with dealing with sexual harassment and assault, and the fact that the CEO was aware of it and nothing was done, and that there had been firings, there had been resigns, But the big thing was that now that Xbox has officially acquired Activision Blizzard into its really Resident Evil umbrella-like monopoly at this point, because I mean, there's not too many massive game libraries out there that are not owned by giant corporations. But I digress. But anyway, a lot of people are wondering what was going to happen with the CEO of Blizzard. Just because simple fact of the matter, they thought that he would be out. Bobby Kotick is the person I'm talking about. Well, according to Phil Spencer, they did sit there and say that for now, Bobby Kotick, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Will say what, Joe?
Kotick,
thank you. He will still be serving as interim CEO until the acquisition merger is complete, and from there he will be relieved of his duties. So what does that mean? A lot of Call of Duty players right now are a little bit nervous, considering that Call of Duty for the longest time was a PlayStation exclusive, now being owned by Microsoft. Just very quickly, my opinion on this, I say nothing changes.
No, actually, Phil Spencer in a tweet said today that they will be honoring all cross-console contracts because both game companies hold an important place in the industry, and it would be wrong to deny them those things. He understands Halo stays on Xbox. Call of Duty is a multi-platformer.
Right.
But, can we bring Killer Instinct to PlayStation?
I don't want them to. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to see Killer Instinct on PlayStation. Although, at this point, we are due for another Killer Instinct. I think we're finally due.
All complaints to Will on that one.
I will say it. I will say it.
Fighting games on PlayStation.
It has an unbeaten record when it comes to Xbox. I cannot argue that. I can't argue that. The fighting games on PlayStation outweigh the fighting games on Xbox. I can't argue that at all. It is that is, I mean, from the beginning of PS1 to the original Xbox, I think even starting out, if you don't count the imports, PS1 still had 11 fighting games to Xbox's 2. And then, as it went on, it was still winning into double digits. And I can't argue that. But here's the thing. If Killer Instinct will become, for the first time, a PlayStation exclusive, then I hope, and this is my hope, I want the same team. It's almost like having Bandai Namco want to do Killer Instinct, which I know they can do. Nothing wrong with Iron Galaxy. Iron Galaxy has done a phenomenal job with Killer Instinct on Xbox. I will not argue that. Do I want another Killer Instinct? Yes, I want a KI3. Killer Instinct, to me, if I had to rate my top fighting games of all time, Killer Instinct is up there with Mortal Kombat, with Street Fighter, with Bloody Roar, with Rival Schools, with Tekken, with Ballerina Toshinde, with Soul Calibur. I can keep going down the list, but the thing is, we are due for another KI3. Now, if there is a studio among the PlayStation studios that can do it justice, cool, go for it. I won't be mad. That'll be the first time I'll be playing a Killer Instinct game on a PlayStation console. At the same time, where's Bloody Roar? I'm gonna ask for Bloody Roar. I'm gonna ask for Rival Schools. I'm gonna ask for Power Stone. I'm gonna ask for a lot of these fighting games that should have honestly got a remake because they were so good to play on the PS1 and PS2. But again, like I said, when it comes to Call of Duty fans, I tell people all the time, if you're a Call of Duty fan and still paying for the same game, paying $60 every year for the same game, bravo and kudos to you. Nothing changes. You'll still get to play on PlayStation, and well, now it's just the fact that Microsoft's going to get their little bit of the pot.
So this acquisition actually can do some good because that means that certain company Microsoft could restructure, and we may get a Call of Duty every other year because Phil Spencer also today said he wants to go and resurrect some of the former franchises that Activision put in dormancy in favor of what they're currently doing. On top of that, Blizzard can go be Blizzard again, not have to go deal with any of the Activision stuff.
Right.
Treyarch can probably be Treyarch. High Moon Studios can come back. Possibly. I mean, some of this is theoretical, but I'm looking at the positive what Microsoft can do.
Oh, they can do a lot.
Sony did, of course, take a $20 billion hit in the stocks of this acquisition. But like everyone's saying, like, oh, this is all of it. This is the end of it. Sony's kind of like,
yeah, because people panicked.
You have PlayStation exclusives, and people are of course right now pointing to Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War being on PC. It's like they're probably doing them a favor because there's a lot of money to be made for Sony to go say, here, put this on PC. Let this run on a Microsoft computer. It's not like they're saying this is Apple only. This is not 1995 where your computer dictates what games you get to play.
Apple fans. That's still funny. But no,
the difference between playing Medal of Honor and playing Marathon. If you were a smart man, you played Marathon.
Damn.
Because then you got the flamethrower and you can make the aliens squawk like chickens. Because Marathon was proto Halo.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, I still say what Microsoft's going to want to do. Because a lot of people are like, you only bought it for their game library. Yes, because it's very profitable. At the same time, Xbox Game Pass has been very profitable for Xbox, especially for putting a lot of their games on the day one access. A lot of people really jumped on there and really thought about it. So wait a minute, would I rather pay $20 a month to turn around, or whatever, 120 a year, but paying $20 a month and I get to play games starting from day one straight from my Xbox via internet connection? That's as close to as cloud compute. That's as close to as cloud gaming gets. And PlayStation, they're still, I'm gonna be honest, they're still nickel and diming you. You're paying separately for PlayStation Now as well as paying for PlayStation Plus, which I think is crazy. That people are shelling out $20 a month for two different services, whereas Xbox is all in one. So do I think that PlayStation's price model will eventually change under Microsoft? Yes, it should. Do I believe that we need to break down the barrier walls between PC gaming and console gaming? I think that's great too, because you've seen what happened on Cyberpunk 2077. It cannot run on consoles, but if you put that thing on a PC, it is beautiful. Because let's be honest, some games' graphics are so intense that they can only be run on PCs. I mean, that's like going back to the first Crysis. Unless you had a high-end PC, you could not play Crysis to its beautiful content. That's how much it demanded out of the machines. But I got no issue with this. I still think it's great. And like I said, it's going to force the gaming industry to shape up. But I still want a better Killer Instinct. I still want Power Stone. I still want Bloody Roar. I still want Rival Schools. I still want a lot of the fighting games that come out. And yes, I will always admit, fighting games always run better on PlayStation. That's just honesty. But speaking of honesty, just to run through the show, the shows of the week that we had. Joe, did you read or did you watch Naomi's second episode, or did you read the synopsis?
There was a second episode after that thing?
That answered my question. That answered my question so much. Yes, I watched it. I had to watch it just because, again, I give it a 5-episode shot. And that first episode of Naomi, I am not going to lie, it was a little rough to watch because story-wise, it just was so much of a slow burn that it was pretty much on life support. And episode 2, again, keeps me concerned. I still, not to go too deep in it, but just overall, Naomi's second episode, again, which I want to give high hopes for. But whoever is the showrunner and whoever is the lead writer,
Brian Michael Bendis. Can
we please get off the slow burn? I mean, please get off the slow burn. I mean, for the simple fact of the matter, it just, yes, we get it. She is going to eventually find out who she is and what she can do. And that's great. And we also know that there is a person that's a person of the same race as Hawkman, that you made him wait until the very end of the episode to basically say that. We get it. At the same time, we get the fact of what you're trying to tie into. I'm just saying, pick up the pace a little bit, because this slow burn is just not working out. And as you see from the look on Joe's face, when he sat there and said, "Was there another episode?" Should have told you. It pretty much tells you where his interest level is so far in this. But like I said, I will stick it out. I will give it 5 episodes. I mean, I gave Legend of Tomorrow 3 seasons, and I stopped watching that because it is just good and terrible. But I hope that the next episode, Naomi, with the episode 3, I just hope it picks up.
Did they give her costume, which means she gets a chest plate, and that's it?
You don't want to see the costume. You'll be mad.
No, I won't, because I'm fairly certain it's probably exactly what it looks like in the comic.
I'll let you Google it, sir. I'll let you Google CW and let you see it. But while you're looking that up, I did also want to cover Batwoman real quick. Again, just like Naomi, it wasn't more of a slow burn. Batwoman's episode 9, again, it felt, this has always been Batwoman's problem. And again, it goes back to showrunner, it goes back to writing. There are so many plots up in the air that the main storyline gets lost. I mean, you forget the fact of, the fact that the lead character is more lost, and yet the sidekick has more direction than she does is a little misleading. The fact that you have the original Poison Ivy and then her sister Mary, who apparently is connected to her as some way, again, makes no sense. And on top of that, the real Poison Ivy is deranged at the same time, doesn't really have a set idea of what she wants to do. There's so many plots that are up in the air that I'm going to be honest, my mind kind of went like Joe did on the first episode of Naomi. I almost turned it off and read the synopsis somewhere else. That's how bad it was. The only shining light that I had on this episode was seeing John Diggle present the same freaking box that we saw in Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he opened it up and it was a green glow, only to go back to Lucius's son and say that this cannot be opened. This cannot be opened by normal means. We know the Green Lantern box when we see it. At the same time, Diggle saying, well, I don't know how I opened it, but I will keep trying. CW, we understand, as Joe had reported last week, that we know that John Diggle, Dave Ramsey, is going to be starring in his own show, Justice U. We also know this man is well deserving of a show of his own for many times, as he has appeared on different shows. But for the love of God, just give us Green Lantern already.
I don't think they legally can until the actual Green Lantern show comes out.
It just bugs me. It's like, what are we teasing? I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, I don't think there's anything legal considering it's DC. I mean, are they waiting for the Green Lantern?
I think HBO has the rights to use Green Lantern on screen at the moment. Okay. So I don't think CW can until they put their show out. I don't know how rights work in that scenario, but I think their show gets precedence over the CW.
Well, I doubt we're going to be seeing a Green Lantern Corps show anytime soon on HBO Max, but I mean, hey, I could be wrong.
That's the next planned show.
Say that one more time.
That's the next planned show.
Is the Green Lantern Corps? So they actually do have a set show date?
Yeah, they've already casted their Guy Gardner and Alan Scott.
Oh, I'm late. Okay. I'm late to that party. Okay. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, and I want to say Simon Baz.
That's going to be interesting. But then again, I was looking forward to the next season of Doom Patrol. So there's that too. And Titans. I mean, once again, think about it with HBO Max. DC has kind of had a solid run with those shows, with Doom Patrol, with Titans, and now the Green Lantern Corps. It's almost like they did have a solid run as far as they do have solid runs.
Simon Bass, thank God.
Somebody's relieved, but no. But going back to it though, I just want Green Lantern. I understand if there is a legal issue with that in the middle of it. It's just that something needs to change about that. I am so tired of them teasing. I am so tired of them teasing John Diggle becoming Green Lantern, which again, he should have been Green Lantern a long time ago. But we're right along. Aside getting from the shows that weren't that good this week, let's go to the show that was good. Superman and Lois, because that seems to be the only shining star right now on the CW. And this episode did not disappoint because I think that I'm right.
Lois is a lot better from the first episode because Lois was almost Iris West levels of annoying last episode.
Oh yeah, but I think the fact that that again, the one thing that Superman and Lois does well, it's never about it's more inclined with the other stories that are happening along with the main story that just makes it great. I mean, the simple fact of the matter that they're combining the Superman of America, they're combining the reign of the Superman, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think they're gonna combine the death of Superman because I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. That's Doomsday.
Reign of Superman comes out afterwards. I think it may be leftovers from the new Krypton storyline with Death of Superman.
I know they're taking elements from both, but still, the thing that's at the bottom, I'm like, again, it's Doomsday, and I'm like, I wouldn't be mad if it's Doomsday. Now, a lot of people that are talking a lot are like, well, it's just too early to bring in Doomsday. I'm like, no, this is perfect. It's perfect to shake this up because this is an older Clark versus the animated series. We didn't see Doomsday till season 4, season 5, if memory serves me right. And even then, the animated series for Superman, it was still good, but I'm not complaining just because of the fact of the matter is that it's going to force John to go back into a steel suit. At the same time, Jonathan's powers are starting to really emerge, considering the fact that he was going one-on-one and was actually getting some shots in, only go back and tell his brother, hey, I almost whooped dude's ass. I mean, but he still whooped my ass, but I got some shots in. He's like, I got some good shots in, but hey.
I nearly beat up Uncle Tao in front of Grandma. It was kind of awkward.
Oh, no. That was just so funny. He was so excited about telling his brother, yeah, I saved Dad. I really laid into him. And the whole thing, of course, like I said, it's like I cannot be mad about Superman Lois. It's hard to find it's hard for me, and I'm gonna ask you, Joe, because it's hard for me to find a bone to pick with it because I see where they're going with it as far as the story goes. But I mean, I can't find anything bad I would like to point out and change. Can you?
Yeah, the mayoral B plot, that was very cookie cutter. Where the most like here's this guy, we're going up against this. He's run unopposed for 10 years. Like by the end of this episode, and I skipped the first episode and I did read a synopsis. The moment she brought this news, like he's going to quit midway through the episode, at the end of the episode, your husband's going to tell you there's no one better in this town to be mayor than you.
I mean, and
I'm like, at the end of the episode.
Oh, it was crappy. You're right. It was a crappy cutout.
Crappy. It's just that was just very predictable.
I mean, you literally saw. Let's be honest. You really saw the setup where it's like, okay, you basically see Lana being like, okay, I can do this. You can do this. You know this town. It's like, so do you. And it's like, there it is. We see that. It's a small pivot, but we see it.
Did Jonathan get a girlfriend last episode? Because he was single season 1.
No, it's more of a rush thing. It was a rush thing. It went from talking. It really went from talking in that last episode of the first season to now all of a sudden they're together. So I guess it's one of those.
I did like the small thing of Clark tells him something. He's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. The girlfriend tells us, like, no, that makes a lot of sense. And you literally see Clark in the background going, for God's sakes. You see him in the background just throw his arms up because the girlfriend says it's literally exactly what he says.
Yeah.
He's like, for God's sakes.
But it was still funny, though. I couldn't knock him. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's like my only real critique. The whole Jordan thing with the girlfriend. She tells him and he's upset and he's like, I was just like, okay, I mean, you kissed a girl, that's cool. Is that something I need to be worried about? And he even like flat out says like, do you want to keep dating? And she's like, yes. It's like, hey, I'm sorry this happened. It just happened as a spur of the moment thing. And then he throws the big hissy fit, which I kind of feel like he's in the wrong about, but then again, this is the CW for teenagers.
Teenage drama.
So this is what I call Kamen Rider Phi's syndrome, where nobody really talks to each other. And as a result, belts are taken. Phones are stolen. People transform into other people and get mistaken. Necks are
Right.
snapped. We get a national holiday.
Oh wow. But still, it's still to see the Superman of America and then see Tag being a part of them. I was like.
So I actually picked up on the Easter egg with Tag. Tag's costume is actually Kong Keenan's first Chinese Superman outfit.
Oh, I missed that. I missed it. I was like, Tag. I'm like, Tag. How did he get? Which makes me wonder. I was like, I was like, well, are we doing another? I was like, no, they're doing the Superman. I was gonna say we are not doing another Superman eradication squad. That's why I was like, no, this is Superman, which I thought was interesting that's the route they wanted to go. But overall, it was a great episode, and also, yeah. So switching gears, I want to ask you, how did you feel about Boba Fett's 4th episode?
It was fine. I really don't feel like we need this much flashbacks to set him up. Like, this could have been like, someone asked, like, how did you two? It's like, I mean, it fills in the gaps from the one episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, some of this can just be a conversation of, how'd you two meet? It's like, I found her in the desert and she helped me get my shit back.
I wish they titled the episode "How Boba Met Fennec." I was like, that's what it should have basically been.
We get to see Black Chrysanthemum is now the hired muscle for Boba Fett, which I'm down with because Black Chrysanthemum is amazing. It just leads more credence that I hope we get like a quick like cameo or maybe homage to Dr. Aphra, like Black Chrysanthemum's like answering the phone call. She's like, hey, need your help. Okay, bye. And Bo will be like, what's that? And you just hear a Wookiee growl. It's like he stomps off to do something.
See, that would be cool, but yeah, I love that. I love this episode. I mean, don't get me wrong, like you said, it is going to come to a point to where, we're flashing back. Okay, cool. We know for a lot of it, like I said, like you said, from the Mandalorian, we saw how Boba got his armor back. We saw exactly, how Fennec got shot. We know exactly those things. It's just
I'm hoping that the droid telling him, congratulations, you're fully healed, means we are finally up to speed on everything.
I think so.
This episode did have some pacing issues.
Well, I mean, he did finally get revenge for that group of people that saved him.
Yeah,
he mowed them down.
The other fun Easter egg is a lot of those kids that are modded out. They're all mod choices in the Old Republic.
Yeah,
they're all character creation They're all character creation models and customization options from the character creator in the Old Republic MMO.
Yeah, I still think I thought that was pretty cool. I can't get the Power Rangers. I can't get the Power Rangers Dino. No, what do we say those bikes remind me of? Oh, dang it, which Power Rangers?
The Chronocycles from Time Force?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I couldn't think of. I was trying to tell somebody else because you told me, and I was like, I can't get that out of my head every time I see that now.
I mean, they're just space Vespas. It's okay. We can have space Vespas.
Land speeders still be better. But the last show we got, guys, again, like I said, I don't expect a lot of kids to watch this. If you are under the age of 50 and you're watching this, your parents are not paying attention. Peacemaker. It also did come out this Thursday, and again, it did confirm some things. It might as well just been called. It just might have been called My Friend Vigilante at this point.
My question is, how many episodes is Peacemaker?
How many episodes of the series? Question. I want to say it's 10, but let me find out. I want to say it's 10, but
Peacemaker. Oh, it's 8 episodes. So already halfway done.
I mean, it's the first season, but you got a point. But again, I liked it because it might as well have been My Friend Vigilante because he made that episode for me. Aside from the fact of just between him and Mern, I'm like, Mern, I'm just going to go and call it. If you are Killer Moth, I'm not going to be disappointed.
No, that's why I had to ask if he was. I mean, it was very obvious from Jump Street he is a butterfly, but
yeah,
this episode confirming it, I felt it was a little early, but that's when I asked how many episodes this was. If this is literally mid of the first season, then it's fine revealing he's a butterfly. I'm fine with that.
And the fact of Adebayo, and it's like that's going to come out eventually that she's Amanda Waller's daughter, so we know that part's coming. And at the same time, I just love the fact that when they were back in the house, Vigilante comes in there and says, "So your dad was White Dragon?" I mean, there's a little problem with the armor, the spacing gaps. He says, your dad was a racist. My dad was not a racist. And he's like, he just points. He says, "Really?" I mean, does everybody keep a White Dragon suit in the creepiest part of their house? But no, I did like that. And some fact of the matter that he was that is a dedicated friend that's going to jail to kill your dad. And then
that was the big surprise for me is I have no problem believing he is a crack marksman.
Yeah.
But the fact that he could handle himself in prison is what was the big turnover. Me, it's like, oh, he actually can go the full distance.
Yeah.
This is not like, I'm really good with a gun. This is, you can actually take care of yourself, period.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought it was cool when I saw it. I was like, he is I said, he is really just going to go sit down next to a bunch of Aryan nationalists and be like, so you should be thanking Black people. It's just that had me cracking up laughing when I watched that.
I also like the fact that even the dad realizes he may be out of his depth if he fights Adrian.
Yeah. Because Adrian made a big old thing. It's like Adrian being Adrian / Vigilante, that dude. That's why I said the whole episode just might as well just been him. And we do get a flashback at the end about him telling that he loved his brother more than he loved Chris. And you see what happens with his brother, apparently with his dying, all the, choking on his own spit and stuff like that. Looks like he's frothing at the mouth. So it's going to be an interesting episode next week because I wonder if they're going to cover it.
The only other thing I was like, I did not realize this is the gentleman that played T-1000.
Uh-huh.
That got brought to my attention, and my only thought was like, he shrank. Except for his hair. His hair stayed the same size.
Oh, T-1000's running on dated software, but no, I thought Peacemaker was good again. It's just
T-1000 ran a compression file.
Dang. But Peacemaker being a good show, guys. I mean, I could knock it. At the same time, I think James Gunn. We're still waiting on the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, sir. But still, I can't be mad about Peacemaker except not letting younger kids watch it. It is definitely not for the children. But before we get into other news, I know Joe. I did point out the fact of your Samoa Joe shirt, so I guess we have to talk about it because I haven't watched an episode of really Raw or SmackDown or NXT for several months because it just went downhill. But we know why it went downhill because Vince is looking to sell, in my opinion. But what do you think, Joe?
I think he changed stuff that shouldn't have been changed, and as a result, he's not happy with the changes that he himself have made.
Right. Him and Nick Khan. They turned around and gutted NXT. You've gotten rid of all the older talent because you wanted younger guys. You only have one solid star in Von Breakker, who's basically Rick Steiner's son. You pretty much I can't see Tommaso Ciampa going to the main roster just because he has sat there and said it himself. He does not want to work under Vince. He does not want to work on Raw because we've seen what happens when NXT top level talent goes to the main rosters of Raw and SmackDown. Don't believe me? Ask Karrion Kross, who in my mind was a solid wrestler, solid wrestler, great performer. And you basically made him wear S&M stuff on his first introduction into Raw. And while he had the belt, you made him drop a match clean to Jeff Hardy. Wonderful bookmaking and terrible story writing. But again, as we found out that as of right now, NXT reports to Bruce Pritchard, who is the eternal yes man for Vince McMahon.
No, that's not him. That's the other guy.
Oh, no. Bruce Pritchard's a yes man. He is.
He's a yes man, but he's not the eternal yes man. That's
John Laurinaitis.
Yes, that's the G. Vince. You're looking real vascular today.
Oh yeah, John Laurinaitis. He will always have a job as long as he kisses up to Vince. That is true. But I'm gonna be honest. I hate to say it. Ever since Triple H had his heart issue and he got removed from NXT, it just went downhill. I mean, they changed the branding, they changed the roster, they changed the back. Yeah, they let some of their best talent go to AEW, who was welcomed with open arms. I mean, you let go of Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly, we already knew was going to AEW. Let go of Bobby Fish. We already knew he was going to go to AEW. And now, Johnny Wrestling. I can never think of his last name to say in my life right now.
Gargano.
Yeah, Gargano. He may wind up going to AEW or New Japan at best. Just because of the simple fact of the matter, I don't see him coming back. I don't see him coming back to WWE. Which I can't blame him.
Ali asked for his release this week.
Oh, it got denied because apparently he is still under contract with WWE for several more years. So he might he's gonna flat out. I can't see Mustafa because again, Mustafa Ali, to me, in my opinion, was probably the, if not one, more of the better performers on WWE right now. And ring work is stellar. He did have Retribution, but again, how that whole faction split up just didn't make any sense. I thought that was to me, it's like the Nexus. You had a great faction in the Nexus and you squandered it. In the same sense, we had Retribution, which could have been also a great faction and squandered it. Just like they did with Hit Row in NXT. You got rid of the entire group. And again, squandered factions and squandered talent. I can't be mad at Mustafa just because the fact of the matter is you want to go where you're wanted. I mean, look at Shinsuke. Shinsuke wanted to go back. He wanted to go back to New Japan for their exclusive, I think it was their G1 Climax tournament. And he wanted to go to that. And he says, well, I can't because I can't be seen on TV because of my current contract in WWE. And still what's mystifying to me is how Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who in my opinion, I thought they would have left WWE the moment their contracts expired. Both of them re-signed.
So they are probably like, what's his name? He was let go recently, but he was very gracious about it. Not Tyler Wilde. The Fashion Police dude.
Oh, you're talking about Prince Pretty?
Yeah. Who was one of the top heels in NXT, and even he just says, like, look, they pay me a good amount. I'm able to take care of my family. It's fine if they don't want to use me. I still can do stuff. I still show up. I still get a paycheck.
Yeah. He did go on his podcast along with him and Sean Spears, which, by the way, if you have not watched their podcast, it is funny as hell to watch. But no, he does explain that, yeah, he left on good terms. And so therefore, some of the wrestlers WWE does treat right, but a lot of them they do wrong. Like, I still sit there and say how they did BE was so wrong to me. Like, you basically inserted Brock Lesnar into a match that had nothing to do with him from a storytelling booking standpoint. Made no sense to take the belt off Big E. And now it's like, they're kind of stuck. Xavier, don't get me wrong, Xavier Woods is pulling double duty right now.
Well, he can because he's got a thigh injury. He revealed that on...
he revealed that on G4. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's like, you look at what he was doing at the time. He was still doing matches and house shows and then flying back to G4. And I'm like, that's double duty. Don't get me wrong, being a host on G4 that's a dream. I'm not gonna knock him for that, because Xavier has proven that if anything, he is set for life on YouTube with even though Up Down Down is kind of owned by WWE. It's not like he can't turn around and create his own thing, especially with Cesaro and Adam Cole and Prince Pretty. They've done it. I say what?
He can't.
Well, he can't do Up Down Down. That's the thing about it.
WWE will also take that.
Oh, they already own it.
No, I'm saying anything new he creates, WWE will take. That's why all those Twitch streams for the WWE people went down.
Oh, that's because WWE won their money. WWE was losing. Well, I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. they felt like they were losing out on money. Really, they weren't. They just really wanted to get every penny possible, which again, I never understood that. It's like if the wrestlers want to have different types of income, let them have it. I mean, WWE is going to make money regardless, especially with their blood money over in Saudi Arabia, which again, a pay-per-view nobody watches.
The Big E thing, it's that time of year. Brock Lesnar needs the title to do the WrestleMania chase. That's all it is.
But it's a terrible. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. What they were doing on SmackDown, from the little bit I watched, they would have been a better story to have him chasing Roman. But they were teasing Paul Heyman like he was like the prom king, like he was the prom queen on prom night. Like, do I go with him or do I go with him? I felt that was a loss because ever since Heyman got with Reigns, that was great. Because Reigns wasn't really that good on the mic, and anytime you heard Paul Heyman, the man has mic skills. Let's just be honest. The man is known for
Lesnar just gets to be his actual self, which by all accounts seems like a super chill dude.
Mm-hmm. Which again, I wouldn't be mad about. I mean, when I first saw Brock Lesnar, really on the mic for the first time, I was like, hey, why? Again, Vince, why are we not using this? I mean, if you really think about it, it's like, Brock was always a heel. He was always a monster heel. He was always a bully. But now it's like, let's see what happens when we turn him face, which you think by now they will be able to do. But just to wrap this up, like I said, I don't get the product that WWE is trying to do. I mean, it is rumored that they are trying to set the sales up to find other people to buy WWE. Do I think that NBC will do it? Possibly, because they're already on Peacock. Peacock has already paid WWE a pretty penny for their content to be shared on their streaming platform only. In the US. If you're outside the US, you still have the WWE network, unless you work off VPNs. So those VPN switching services and looking for sponsors, hey. But no, as far as WWE goes, it's just. I would rather at this point watch New Japan and AEW just because they're a bit more in sync. Which, by the way, shout out to Jon Moxley on AEW coming out, and I mean that dude gave a fire promo.
Is there a reason why he kicked that dude out of the crowd?
Yeah, you didn't hear what the guy said?
Oh no,
he said, "Get that piece of shit out the ring."
Oh, okay.
Because he was about to speak and it got dead quiet, and you could literally hear the guy clear as day. I don't know if they muted on mute. They honestly might have muted on YouTube and other places by now, but you literally hear the guy just simply go, "Get that shit out the ring." And you hear Dean Ambrose goes, "You know what? Go fuck yourself." Which I can't blame him for. I mean, Jon Moxley literally was having alcohol problems, got rehab, and he looked way better. I mean, that dude looked leaner. He looked in shape compared to a few months ago. That just goes to show you, man, that some people just got personal demons, and he's working them out. But he looked great in that promo. But again, that's just AEW. I'm trying to not be biased, but right now it's just a little hard to love. It's a little hard to love WWE. But with that being said, that's really all that I got from my side. So, Joe, what you got?
They're getting ready to kill the Justice League. That book's going to be going on hiatus, and they're going to be focusing on the other Justice teams. That's going to be coming soon by Josh Williamson and artist Sandova. Let me look. I forgot to pull it up. One of those, I know the writer by heart because I am reading so much stuff. But I forgot what the artist is, and I always feel bad about that because the artist should be as equally credited. Everyone on the book should be as equally as credited. Josh Williamson, Rafa Sandova. So pretty much just like Joshua Williamson, it's the writer and artist of Flash is coming back to do the Justice League in Justice League issue 75, which will be the final issue of that book, which is hilarious because that even means that Brian Michael Bendis is not even finishing his run. It's being handed off to Josh Williamson to end it. Good.
I'm sorry. I'm just going back to what we discussed before this podcast went live. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do not like that, man. I respect him for the stuff he has done, and I love his. I will say it every time. I love what he did with Ultimate Spider-Man. I love what he did with Avengers. His DC run has been hot garbage.
At least you're on. Hey, I can't argue that. But then again, they're still recycling. To me, it's recycling the same idea they did. I want to say they attempted 8. I want to say 9 years ago. 1 to 2. I'm sorry. No, I was just saying. I think the whole thing about killing off the Justice League. I'm like, the whole thing about killing off the Justice League. It's like, I could have sworn it was 8-9 years ago. Like, this wasn't the first time they've attempted this storyline. If memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, the whole universe died for a bit in death metal, but it wasn't the flat out death of. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Chip Zdarsky Elseworlds tale called Last Ride.
Yeah.
No one died in that but Martian Manhunter.
But it's the same concept. Which again, that's why I'm like, it's the same concept.
Because the new Justice League and new teams are taking up. That was an Elseworlds tale, so that doesn't count.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's in that realm.
Yeah, it's in that Elseworlds realm, so they can get away with that stuff. This is in continuity to the best of the ability. I mean, Josh Williamson right now is the kind of the architect for DC. So the synopsis is a dark army made up of the DC universe's greatest villains is formed at the edges of the multiverse, and the best and most powerful heroes are put together in an epic war to push the darkness back. In the end, the Justice League is killed by the Dark Army with only one survivor to warn the remaining heroes of Earth what is coming for them. We've already seen some pictures of it. Some elicit the feel of the death of Superman with coffins and everything. To me, it seems kind of like it won't be Green Lantern, but it's going to be somebody. God, I hope it's just not Naomi to come back. I'm tired of her.
and we come full circle.
The picture of the caskets, at least they remember Kyle because Kyle's just standing over there with Bruce the Gold and Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Damian is in his costume. For some reason, Simon Baz looks like he's a Martian. Let me see if I got a picture of this I can share.
I'm about to say, you can pull it up. I think you had it. Let's see. Did you have it beforehand?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. Kelly, I love Martian Manhunter. Okay. Nothing wrong with that, Kelly. Nothing wrong with loving Martian Manhunter. But still, you're right. Even though it's Elseworlds, I'm like, it's still the same concept. Which again, I'm like, while you're pulling it up, it's like, I just want different stories. That's really all that I want. Like, why can we not get different stories? That's all I'm saying. Okay, I see what you're saying with the oh wow. So it's just they are going to try to go with the original with Superman, with Aqua, Batman, Wonder Woman, and of course Lantern. But since you're right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know why Simon Baz looks like he's an alien in this one, but
distance. I guess they try to go for distance on this.
No, you can't say distance because everybody looks just fine in this picture.
You like to say that. But
I do like to say that because look at Simon's face.
I see his face, but I can also see Black Adam's face. It's defined. I can see Cassandra Cain's mask. It's defined. Red Hood. It's defined. I can see Beast Boy left-hand corner. It's defined. I can see Robin, Flash.
Yeah, that's my problem. That's what I'm getting at. Why does Simon Baz look like an alien?
But I'm like, I'm trying to figure out just like what was. I mean, I understand what you're saying as far as where the artist is going with this, but it looks like he drew him through a scope. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like he drew him through a scope.
So, anyways, we don't know who's going to actually survive out of this. This is just a teaser picture. This is not a definitive cover or anything, so it could be anybody. I mean, we're slowly moving back into the late 90s, early 2000s, where a lot of the heroes are already relinquishing their roles. To other characters, and the legacy characters are slowly starting to stand back up. Like, right now, Calder is actually Aquaman. And Connor, we know, is Superman.
And, right.
There is no Earth Green Lantern, actually, now that I think about it.
There's not in the picture anyway.
Well, there's Hal. I keep forgetting. Hal's the Earth Green Lantern again. So we're starting to slowly see a reemergence of the early 90s, or the late 90s, early 2000s, which I'm all for. I wanted the legacy characters to start stepping up into the roles. Flash's casket is not seen in this because Wally's currently a member of the Justice League, and Barry's currently trapped with Justice League Incarnate in some weird Earth Prime Zero, where it's his Golden and Silver Age fused into one world.
So they're trying to at least keep continuity. That's good.
Yeah, well, this is also the third chapter in Josh Williamson's big event that no one is talking about. Which is actually something that's going on across a lot of comic books going on right now, where there are a lot of big things going on, just no one's really talking about. There's no one really hyping it. So his first arc was Infinite Frontier. His second arc is Justice League Incarnate. His third arc is The Death of Justice League.
Oh. That makes sense.
But for like me, I just don't know where this... I mean, ultimately, we all know this is going to end in a crisis again, but...
How many crises can you have in a comic book line? That's all I'm saying.
One every 5 to 8 years.
I'm just saying, how many times? I don't even want them to... You know what I want? I don't mean to go into a red, but I don't want a crisis. I want something of a crisis-like level to where it's not crisis. Give me something different. I mean, you gave us the
Zero Hour?
Something similar to 0 Hour, yeah. I'll even take like an adaptation of the Joker War. I'll even take that. Because even that was great storytelling.
Well, I mean, this is just the difference between Marvel and DC. Marvel never reboots; they just have a sliding timeline.
True.
DC just gets so convoluted that they have no choice but to crisis to wipe the slate clean and remove whatever's convoluted.
Right, but the problem is you keep on rehashing it in the same backyard. That's always
else the books don't sell. If you change too much, the books just don't sell.
Well, if you keep the books the same, well, we know what happens after that.
It's like the book I loved the most last year. It's already canceled.
I think that was more along the lines of them making room for Spider-Man.
No, I'm talking about Wonder Girl.
I thought they killed that because of shoot.
No, Wonder Girl got canceled, and they're pulling the 8th book. So Yar's only getting 7 books. The newest issue is coming out soon, and then her 2 times Trial of the Amazons, and then that's it for Yara Flor for the foreseeable future. If you notice, she's not in this lineup.
No, she's not. But I thought it was for some other reason. I thought it was for another reason why they stopped it.
I think it was due to low sales, the paper shortage, and the fact that the book was delayed for so long that it just interrupted flow and stuff.
So just a combination.
I think they had to make room for at least 3 more Bat titles too.
So pretty much a combination of all the above. Got it.
That last one is me being spiteful.
I mean, you might not be wrong though.
I mean, I'm probably not wrong, but that last part is just me being flat out spiteful.
I was gonna say you might not be wrong in that scenario, but I get it.
It most definitely is the fact that because it was a writer-artist scenario, and Joella Jones is an exemplary artist. That book took forever, which is why they hired DeLuca to help mimic her style the best she can, so they can start getting the book out on time. But I think the damage was done. I mean, 3 months delay between 2 issues is just detrimental for a book. And on top of that, like I said, there's a paper shortage. So, they got to devote their resources to the books that sell the most.
Still, that does suck. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
The other thing just isn't important enough for me to care about, or the other one. So we'll move over into comics.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Don't mind me. Do not mind me. Go ahead.
All right, so we got quite a bit of comics today because start of the new year, so start of new books. Where are you? There you are.
Okay. You loading back up? Gotcha.
Load back up. We got Silk. So Cindy Moon is back. She is just hot off of her miniseries. She is continuing with a full issue series, why we have the legacy numbering there. She is being written by Emily Kim with art by Takashi Miyazawa. The long and short of this one is we're going to try and shotgun because there's quite a bit of books this time around.
Okay.
She is taking on the supernatural. She is Korean, so she is taking on a set of newly resurrected Korean vampires, which is going around the. I don't know if they're in the Oriental District of New York, or it's just a museum and it just so happens they're feeding on Asian people. But she runs into an Uber fan, and Uber fan accidentally unlocks the vampires from being a dork. So she stumbles upon the dude, and he looks like he's 80 as opposed to 16.
So he pulls an Evil Dead?
I think so.
Okay.
So these are Korean youth-stealing vampires. They don't drain blood. They literally drain life essence out of people. So young people will be getting old across New York soon. So Cindy will be dealing with that. I say give it a shot. Silk is always entertaining. It's refreshing to see an Asian superhero with an Asian writer and artist. The art is very good. Writing, this is a new writer as far as I'm aware of.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. I just didn't recognize Emily Kim from the last series, but good story thus far. I mean, it's too early to tell how good it's going to be because it's literally the first issue, but I say give it a shot. Moving right along, She-Hulk gets a new series. This is being written by Rainbow Raul and Roge Antonio. She-Hulk is getting ready. Jennifer Walters is on her way to her new job. Her new job as an attorney at a new firm where she's literally given a closet office. Literally given a closet office. She meets up with Titania and gets into a small fight, which ends up with them like they are one of those super secret best frenemies. Where they've been fighting so long, they actually just like while fighting ask how each other's lives are going.
So we have a Black Widow Hawkeye situation.
Oh no, they recognize that they are frenemies. Like they're fighting each other, and she's like, is that a new suit? Yeah, it's like, how are you and your husband's like, oh, we got a house finally. As they're like fighting in the alleyway. It's like that's fantastic. It's like it's a rental. Like still.
Damn.
So finally, like after the fight's over with, She-Hulk of course wins. She-Hulk's like, look, I enjoy fighting you. Do you want to just like do this on a regular basis? So long as you're not wanted by the police, I won't call the police. You and me can find like a basketball court or a gym and just wail on each other till one of us can't get up. Which I think that incidentally starts Titania's mind moving, and I think She-Hulk has inadvertently started a female superhero fight club.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
We're going to in this one because it involves She-Hulk. Meanwhile, She-Hulk moves into an apartment, which is one of Janet Van Dyne's spare apartments.
Okay.
Janet says, by the way, do you need to go shopping and for like both of you? And Jen's like, well, we can find something for me, but there's a problem finding things in my other size. So Janet's like, give me a moment. I can do some instant fashion, but some of your old stuff is still here. And Jan's like, which me? Jan just gives her a kiss on the cheek. Like, I'll see you later.
Damn.
Oh no, it's a very playful thing. It's not an insult at all.
Still, which me?
Well, I mean, that's a valid question for Jennifer.
It's like, we mean which me? That's like, I mean, it's a. I mean, I see what you're saying. It's a shot, but still.
Well, I mean, Jennifer is one of those characters that even in the thing, she prefers She-Hulk to herself.
Yeah.
Even though we have finally clarified that Jennifer is just Jennifer and she just prefers the She-Hulk body as opposed to her standard form.
True.
So immediately after seeing The Closet, which is about as big as her entire law firm, because it is the Wasp, so that makes plenty of sense. She immediately hulks out and starts trying on outfits. She hops in a Hulk-sized bathtub, which she loves to death. And then the weird thing happens in this book. Jack of Hearts shows back up, who died in Avengers Disassembled and collapses in her hallway.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's where the book ends.
Oh. Because nope. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
For those of you that aren't aware, Avengers Disassembled happened 11 years ago. So, oh no, I'm wrong. I am terribly wrong. Avengers Disassembled happened almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jack of Hearts has been dead for almost 20 years. So, there's a mystery you're solving, people.
Nope. Not that. No, it's
also, how important is Jack of Hearts really? It's a She-Hulk book. I've already seen the solicits where Ben Grimm is her personal trainer in the Fight Club.
All I can sit there and say he's about as important as Swordmaster was in Hawkeye.
Which means he'll probably be very important and probably a Skrull later on down the road.
Yeah.
Moving right along, we got the Devil's Reign tie-in Villains for Hire, which is can't call it the Thunderbolts right now, but it's Thunderbolts. This is written by I forgot. This is gonna be one of those things with me today, guys. Give me a second. You also see where I'm getting my online stuff. There we go. Devil Reign by Clay Chapman and Manuel Garcia.
Still odd.
There's the Devil Reigns 1 of 2 Silver Surfer Witchblade crossover. Okay, sure.
Still odd. They're not the Thunderbolts, but they are the Thunderbolts.
No, they are definitely the Thunderbolts. Like, they have been assigned by Wilson Fisk. They are the new Thunderbolts. I just don't know why they don't have Devil's Reigns Thunderbolts. It's weird. So, this incarnation of the Thunderbolts halts a Met Gala robbery. And by halt, I mean completely massacring the robbers. They are seen in the Fisk's mayoral office. And as it is with this incarnation of the Thunderbolts, sans Herman, because Herman's already gone for the team.
Nice.
It's immediately a powder keg, and they nearly destroy the mayoral office in a small fight. Which then Fisk immediately chastises them, and then they go fight another robbery and immediately massacre those guys. And then at the end of it, Fisk's like, well, I got to rein you in. Here's your new commander. It's U.S. Agent. Meaning U.S. Agent is officially in charge of a team of Thunderbolts again.
All I can sit there and say is, remember the line that we kept on saying that's the worst thing he's done, and we keep on saying the worst thing he's
done so far.
Yeah.
We're actually about to discuss that over in Devil's Reign X-Men. Written by Jared Dugan and art by Joe's favorite artist, Phil Noto. The long and short of this is a little girl captures an assassination during when Electro is working for Wilson Fisk. That is being brought to Wilson Fisk's Kingpin's attention at that time. Jump forward to now. Kingpin is trying to evict the X-Men from Central Park Treehouse, and he's going to use the Thunderbolts to do it. Polaris pretty much solos most of this normal people, including tossing U.S. Agent's shield across Manhattan.
Oh, he's gonna have flashbacks.
Oh no, he just like, can you give that back? She's like, I tossed the bat to you. It's not my fault. You can't catch when I toss it over the half of Manhattan.
Damn.
Meanwhile, Polaris still just lounging in a tree, sipping up a cup of coffee. My favorite thing in the world. Everybody comes down with the exception of Cyclops, because Cyclops is still pretending to be Captain Krakoa, because that is his punishment, because Cyclops died in front of people.
Yeah.
And since the resurrection, people are not allowed to know about the resurrection protocols, he has to be Captain Krakoa, which he hates. So everyone's down there, and John Walker's like, look, this is a U.S. government thing. You guys can't legally be here anymore. If you want to use violence, trust me, I have no problem with this.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Taskmaster just like looks at Wolverine, who's lore. It's like, I fought the original, and Wolverine just looks like, yeah, no, never gonna happen. Leave me alone. Gambit, so I guess Gambit, Rogue, and Rhino have some sort of very fun. Oh, right. Rhino plays cards with Gambit. I keep forgetting this. Like, they are poker.
That's not gonna end well.
No, like, Rogue literally tells, like, Remy would be very disappointed in you, Alexi. And Alexi goes, like, look, honestly, this is literally just a job for me. Yeah. So even Rhino's like, I'm doing this to be paid. This is a 9 to 5 for me. I understand where I'm at, but this is just a 9 to 5 to me.
Damn. Damn.
And then just some of the other X-Men pair off, and then like Emma comes in out of nowhere. It's like, yep, United Sanction. Meanwhile, because of this, Emma's aware of what's going on. So she contacts Harry Leland, who's the Krakoan ambassador to the United Nations. And Emma just walks up to John Walker. He's like, yeah, United Nations sanctioned this as an embassy for Krakoa. Technically, anywhere within a 500 feet area of the treehouse is Krakoan land, and you're all trespassing. However, the rest of New York, the rest of Central Park, you are definitely have your authorization, but please get off our property.
Not to get off my lawn.
No, he would clearly get off our lawn. So, like, Jean's like, thanks, Emma. It's like, oh, honey, Wilson Fisk is greatly out of his depth. And then, of course, John reports to Wesley, and Wesley tells Kingpin what happened. And Kingpin just, like, says the exact same thing. Is like, the good Lady Frost is greatly out of her depth in this. It's like, is she?
Damn.
It's a solid tie-in. I enjoyed it. Plus, me, Phil Noto, I'm immediately on board.
Yeah, but still, who can sit there and say to get evicted? There's just no words for that.
Jumping on over to Moon Knight by Jed McKay and Bruno Sammartino. This has my quote of the night. Let me find it. So I can actually spoil a little bit of this because a lot of this is here.
Okay.
So this is the Bar with No Name. For those of you who do not know, the Bar of No Name is a supervillain hangout bar. You actually can visit it in the Spider-Man DLC. So Moon Knight literally just walks in, sits up. He was like, let's establish something here. I am not Spider-Man. I am not as it's saying here, I am not Spider-Man. I am not the Punisher. They represent the extreme ends of the costume spectrum. I am Moon Knight. All of you know that means one thing. No one in this bar, including myself, knows what I'm capable of. I beat the Avengers. Imagine what I can do to any of you.
Hey.
So he goes in and just like finals like, that being said, I'm going to ask one simple question and then I will leave. If you want to fight me, let me reiterate, I beat the Avengers. He just wants to know where Zodiac is.
That is kind of saying something. That is, you know what? That's even worse than Spider-Man just pretty much sitting there beating the Kingpin and saying, at this point, look, once Aunt May is gone, so are you. and then looks at the entire crowd there and says, "Y'all all can try me if you want to." Which again I find amazing about Moon Knight. He's like, even I don't know what I'm capable of, but you're welcome to try me if you want to. He's like, I would love to sit there and see what happens next.
That's right up there with I'm still reading the Zdarsky Daredevil. He's finally met up with the Punisher.
Yeah.
And has gotten Punisher's like, oh, well, you killed a guy. Well, we're about the same. And like he beats the crap out of Punisher, and Daredevil's like, Frank, can you imagine what I could do if I had guns? Do you honestly believe? No, what would happen with someone like me and my powers could do with guns? And then, of course, he actually kind of quotes Brawley from the original Brawley movies. Of I'm not. It's like you're a monster. I'm the devil.
Damn.
You're amateur hour. But anyways, back to Moon Knight. So he has found and is comedically torturing 8-Ball, which is like super D-list hypno hustler level villain. And like gets the information kind of what he needs, and then like the guy that helped him last thing, the soldier's like, were you really gonna kill him? And it was like, of course not. If I was gonna lower him into the metal grinder, I would have dropped him in the legs first.
Just damn.
So Zodiac has officially found at least Moon Knight's secretary, so we're going from there. There's also a weird little joke of like, it's like, there's not a lot of us Jewish superheroes, and I'm not exactly on everybody's friend list, but Ben Grimm, he always sends me a Hanukkah card. I really feel like he needs to reach out to the Jewish superhero community more and find more friends. It's just fun little writing.
Now see that right there is a perfect example of great, like I said, great writing. That's a perfect example. But that's me trying to still be stuck on DC. But go ahead.
Jumping on over, we have Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, written by James DeMatteis, artist by David Beldeleon. This is not the current run. This is Spider-Man in the 90s. This is taking place during when Ben Reilly was Spider-Man and Peter and MJ have moved to Portland.
Okay.
So this is like the 90s era Spider-Man. Ben is working at the Daily Grind coffee shop. J. Jonah Jameson runs into him and keeps yelling, calling Peter Parker, to where Ben just turns around and gives him a death glare and just says, I am not him. Leave me alone. And then like Jameson just like, sorry. So this issue, Carrion breaks out and is starting to hurt people again. Carrion is a very minor villain. He was only like really brought to big prominence during the Maximum Carnage run. It just turns out that Carrion just had something very traumatic happen to him, which caused the Carrion virus to take hold of the actual person again. Where his mom had a stroke and passed away, and because he can't let go of his anguish, and when he can't let go of his anguish, he becomes Carrion. So after he fights Ben talks him down and like takes hold of Carrion, takes some of Carrion's grief, causing him to revert back to his human form. Meanwhile, this also establishes something going on in the other Ben Reilly book, is that Ben has a mask-off professional relationship with Dr. Kafka, which is his current therapist in the Beyond series.
Okay.
And then he befriends somebody in the Daily Grind, although begrudgingly, because this is still the chip on the shoulder Ben Reilly, not happy-go-lucky Ben Reilly. It was the 90s. Everybody had a chip on their shoulder. If you didn't have a chip on the shoulder, you had pouches and about a gun twice the size of your body.
I mean, you ain't wrong. You're not wrong. Now that I think about it, you're really not wrong in that sentence. You're really not wrong in that sentence. But go ahead.
And then the issue ends in Ben's apartment as it's broken into by the Scorpion. Interesting. Because Ben's never fought the Scorpion before either. So this is a 5-issue miniseries. I am definitely reading it. The art is gorgeous. David Bodian is an amazing artist. J.M. DeMatteis, I don't think anybody worth their salt is going to ever say he's a bad writer. He is one of the most iconic writers in comics. He single-handedly has written some of the best Ben Reilly stories. Spider-Man: The Lost Years. Spider-Man, he's written Kraven's Hunt. He's responsible for the JLI. So, iconic writer taking on one of his old comic books again. Fantastic comic.
As long as he does it well, no complaints.
Yep. Moving on over, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 86, written by Zeb Wells and art by Michael Dowling. This is where we start going on the downslope for the Beyond thing. Ben is starting to doubt the Beyond Corporation, given with what Dr. Octopus and that data drive has given him. He has Janine put it in the sock drawer for hiding at the moment, and whispers to her they are lying to us. From there, he talks to Dr. Kafka, and then triggers something, and then is immediately tranquilized Dart to the point of it looks like he's become a pincushion. And the Beyond Corporation starts doing memory surgery to remove Dr. Octopus's fight from Ben, so that will become more compliant. And unfortunately for them, they do destroy that memory from the fight, but this is also starting to collapse Ben's mind.
I'm digging the artwork. I am digging the cover artwork, though.
Oh, the artwork in this is even more gorgeous. Like, Michael Dowling's art is right up there with Patrick Gleason. So this is definitely one to read for artwork, but also we slowly start to see that Ben's mind is slowly starting to collapse on the inside out. Faces are starting to black out. Jumping from memory to memory all through the Clone Saga. Like, it's starting to become a full collapse.
Okay.
Then the final comic of the night is Nightwing. This is Nightwing 88. Written by Tom Taylor with art by Bruno Redondo. Babs tells Nightwing he's start going out as Dick Grayson a bit more and is backed up by Bitewing, who just barks at him. Knowing Nightwing is now outnumbered by the two most prominent women in his life, he just acquiesces and starts to break ground on the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation. He is immediately attempted to be assassinated, but all the Titans step in. He is trying to be assassinated by a pair, I guess they're a husband and wife assassination team called Gun Bunny and Gun Hawk.
They're bringing that?
I don't even know who they are. They're that, like, obscure even to me.
I think they were in a Batman Beyond episode, but
Maybe?
different names. Different names, but I'm almost certain the same character. They might have different names for the couple, but I'm almost certain the same concept.
So all the Titans are together. Flash immediately carries Dick Grayson over to Mr. Terrific, where Mr. Terrific gives him this new costume where the stripe goes all the way down to the fingers. I guess it's just a new Nightwing costume designed by Mr. Terrific. So, it's probably got some bells and whistles.
Of course. It's Mr. Terrific. Not the CW version.
No. So it's also a big Titans issue, which I really enjoy. They confront Blockbuster because it's fairly obvious Blockbuster this, and Corey's is like, Blockbuster, you're confusing being big with big and mean with being powerful. Do you want to test that with me?
Damn.
And then Beast Boy just pops and is like, oh, please test it. I need a good laugh.
Of course, Beast Boy. Of course, Beast Boy is going to be in the middle. It's like, I just want to watch. I just want to watch people get hurt.
I just want to watch Corey wipe the floor with Blockbuster. Meanwhile, Gun Bunny is taken into custody by the Titans. Gunhawk is not so lucky because the Heart Stealer catches up with him, and the issue ends with him stealing his heart.
Must be a new character. I don't know that one.
Heart Stealer is like the new villain for this arc with Tom Taylor.
Gotcha.
Art's gorgeous as it always is with Bruno Redondo. Tom Taylor continuing to do no wrong with this character at this point. This has been a great shape up. since the Rick scenario. Definitely recommend all these. That's all the comics I got for this week. Like I said, there was a lot this time around, guys, because there was a lot of #1 issues. I also expect that in March when all the X books start back up. We had Superman and Dark Ages happen. We did get to see a married Black Panther and Storm with the daughter.
Oh, so they did the one-off shot of the daughter of Storm Black Panther.
It wasn't one. It's the new current Elseworlds tale. They're telling a Marvel Dark Ages where an EMP wipes out all of technology.
Ah, I'll look that up.
So this is one of those. Everybody that was married is now still married with kids. So Peter and MJ with a 6-year-old May, Luke and Jessica with a 8-year-old Danny, Black Panther and Storm with a 4-year-old daughter, because giant-sized X-Men was supposed to reveal that Storm was pregnant with Black Panther's kid.
Oh.
And they changed it.
Damn. I'm sorry. I keep hearing this horn. Somebody's car alarm is driving.
I do love one of the best jokes. It's like, yes, the king. The king loves being awake at 5 a.m. from your daughter. It's like, and then Storm just like looks at him. It's like, well, the king does need to sleep, but not as much as the princess needs her daddy.
Then again, great story writing when done properly.
Well, I mean, all the Elseworld books are super good in Marvel because they carry on what should really be happening. I don't know why we don't have a 6-year-old May. I don't know why we don't have a Peter being a dad. Superman being a dad was the most interesting comic book to me. It was why I was so pissed that Brian Michael Bendis took over the Peter J. Tomasi Superman and ruined everything.
That's the rant I'm trying to avoid because, again, this goes back to the whole thing about not taking risk and telling different stories. You said it, I've said it, Shadow has said it. I'm pretty sure everybody within our circle has at least said it once. That it's just the fact it's a mark. I understand from a marketing standpoint, whatever line you have has to make enough money to sustain it and keep it going. Completely understand that. But I mean, how long are we going to keep telling the same stories and not just acknowledge that, hey, superheroes do get older. There are those that come in place to take the mantle of the role. I mean, we've seen it in almost every facet. There's not a superhero story out there that doesn't have a new person taking up the role. But like you said, to see Black Panther as a father, to see Peter Parker as a dad, I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of it into the Spider-Verse. But yes, from a comic book standpoint, I would still love to sit there and read it and still be able to enjoy it. But again, it's just the whole thing of them taking risk. That's the big thing. But
it adds more dimension to the character than what they already have.
It absolutely does. I cannot argue that. What else I cannot argue with? Shout out to Rick's Comic City again for supporting us here. We also want to show love back to them. They do have 3 locations. If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out at Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and of course at Donaldson. Definitely check them out because again, I understand that in the world of digital comics, you can always get them from Comixology, Amazon, wherever you may be.
That Joe just used.
Yeah. We're not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. They're not paying us to say it. But like Stan Lee once said, comics are like a woman's boobs. They feel great in your hand. So again,
if you got a better analogy.
That's still, I don't know how else to put that. That's actually about the best I could. That to me sums it all up. But you're not wrong.
Well, I just did a more child-friendly analogy.
I done cussed at least 5 times on this one. This is definitely gonna have to be rated not for kids. But with that being said, I definitely do want to shout them out in their 3 locations. Like I said, support your local comic book shop because, again, these are one of the very few places to where you can still go out, still meet people, still get great comics, great literature. If you do not have the ability to go to a comic book store and buy comics, that's fine. You can go to your local library. Your local library does have the most up-to-date comics, mangas, animes, and other visual art that you can basically go and rent at the price of $1. Yes, library books, library cards are still $1 in 2022. Who knew? So definitely check them out as well in case you're not able to go to comic books. Like I said, reading is fundamental, folks. Not just something you can read off your smartphone while you're in the bathroom, but hey, actually pick up a graphic novel, A collection, a volume collection, because I can't say the other word right now.
A trade paperback?
Say what?
A trade paperback?
That too. I was going for compendium. Damn it.
Compendium?
Thank you. Like I said, if I was trying to play Scrabble tonight, I would lose horribly. But with that,
this challenge.
You ain't wrong though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But with that being said, guys, as we wrap this up, Joe, anything you want to let people know about as far as the streaming schedule goes?
So if you join me Monday night, it took 3 hours to get through one level. I sent Will the whole 3 hour stream. Hope we can sit there and see how frustrated that was.
I was watching it while I was working today. I was trying not to laugh during meetings. I was not trying to laugh at you.
No, it was generally frustrating to get that far and then just to time out.
I was listening to it because I had it playing on my computer while I was next to my work computer, so I was looking over watching, and I was like,
and you can see Joe, I was tearing that game apart too.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, that did not, ooh. I know that.
I don't actually get, I can get frustrated game, but I'll never lose my patience with the game. But I can get frustrated, but I'll never get angry. I don't gamer rage. Yeah. I just what can I do to do this better? Which is why I hopped into that one little mini scenario to get some minor beam armor upgrades. But even still, it was one of those, all right, let's just turn it on to easy so we can at least finish this game.
There's nothing wrong with that. I turned Dark Souls. I've made, not Dark Souls. What was that, the PS4 game? Thank you. I turned that down. I have no shame in saying that.
So we're moving over to a new Gundam game this week. Gundam Breaker 3. This is the high school championship one. Or no, this is the Gunpla Store Championship one. This is not where I'm trapped with two high school girls. One's a psycho, one's a childhood friend. This is where I'm with actual people that are not super moe the whole time. I can't do moe unless it's with an anime industry backgrounds thing. But we will be starting that. I'll still stream some Mech Warrior. More likely tomorrow, as I'm now ridiculously low on money yet again because I just had to buy that Warhammer. But I'm so tired of running around in 30-ton mechs. I needed a 70-ton mech to make myself feel better. So we're doing that. At some point, I'll pick Guardians of the Galaxy back up, or I may switch over to Spider-Man. I'm not sure what I want to do right now with some of the off days, but with the way work has been, they tried to get me to work this weekend, and I just flat out told them no.
I don't blame you.
No, night crew. We lost 3 people tonight, COVID and night crew. We're down 3 people.
Which again brings up another point, folks. Joe is a healthcare professional. Help him relax. And by relax, I mean literally and figuratively. Get vaccinated.
It's really, guys, it's so bad right now. It's 1 in 33 people in Nashville have COVID at the moment. That is a terrible statistic.
Yeah. So above all else, get vaccinated, wear a mask, protect yourself.
N95. I have actually jumped up to wearing an N95 outdoors.
You're going to have to at this rate because there's too many folks that are still being unvaccinated. So, like I said before, it's the whole thing of just being safe. Like I said, Joe can tell you because he's literally at ground zero every day.
I've done 2 to 3 COVID jobs every day this week.
So, yeah, that just goes to show you guys the Decepticon is real. That's all I'm saying. But, Joe, what's your social store where they can find you?
Joe Italian last name on Twitch, Joe 10LO, or just Joe 10Low. We'll go with that on Twitter. My very rarely used Instagrams at the moment because there's no cosplay happening on either side of the aisle. So Nashville Green Lantern, Nashville Scarlet Spider.
Okay. And also some other shit, some other shameless programming. My language is going right now. Some other shameless plugs that I do want to point out to folks. Also, shout out to my buddy who's also watching this show as well. My buddy Big BZA Dot, which you can find they made the Von Westpoon on Facebook, Big BZA Dot on socials, where he still has his podcast. Will be starting back up very soon. Smoking Trailer Sundays every Sunday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. in which he goes over movies, books, video games, trailers that he likes, thinks is interesting, and wants to share them with you. He also has the REF podcast, like America's Funniest Home Videos, except done by WorldStar. Definitely also check that out every Tuesday between 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Definitely check him out, Von Westwood on Facebook and Big BZA on socials. Also, shout out to Ari and Geek, Present Geek Salad, for basically allowing us to share our podcast on their page. As you can see, that's their YouTube page right there. Ari and Geek are a couple of guys that I met last year. We'll hopefully have them on Git Bit very soon, along with me and Joe. But they do discuss everything pop culture and the world outside of it through an intelligent but definitely unfiltered way of getting around things. And trust me and Ari go head to head, especially when it comes to Zack Snyder. But definitely check them out, Ari and Geek Percent Geek Salad, which you can find them on Facebook as well as YouTube. Now, as for yours truly, guys, so my IG handle BlackLock447 is still in effect. Definitely like and follow me there, as I do post movie reviews, video game reviews, sometimes inspirational stuff and gym stuff, because I do a couple push-ups. Aside from that, like I said before, I do also like to motivate and encourage people. Hopefully you guys can do the same. Of course, the strolling banner at the bottom, if you copy and paste that into your browser, will take you to our link tree for the YouTube Facebook groups for all of our podcasts, how the fact we got here, Git Bit, and of course the Alphabet's podcast. The schedule is still the same going into 2022. So yes, I will definitely see you guys how the fact we got here tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. to noon. And aside from that, guys, definitely go back and like and share and let people know, because we think this is an awesome podcast, and also let the people out there know, because we have plenty of people like us. And like I said, in the world of fandom, we should share what we love and discuss, not tear down and be toxic like Star Wars fans. You know who you are. But with that being said, Joe, any last words before we call it a night, good sir?
You guys need to leave this zipper thing alone.
That'll never go away, unfortunately. That'll never go away. You would think it would, but it'll never go away. But with that being said, guys, I've been Will. This has been Joe. And if again, as we wrap this up, if you're watching this on the playback, please comment if it's live. We still want to know what you guys thought about everything we discussed tonight from all of our subjects. And like I said, let us know what you guys like and don't like, because we want to tailor this to everybody's enjoyment. As I am still working on new banners and overlays and a new intro. I have been told that the intro might be a little long. And I'm like, okay. Well, we will work on fixing that. Because again, I did not know people had that short of attention spans. But hey, we're going to give the people what they want. That being said, he's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Git Bit Podcast for tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. And we will all get through this. Peace.